In this box I have an Antigravity A1 360 degree drone which weighs less than 250 grams and it shoots in 8K. It opens up so many possibilities that a traditional drone like the one I've been using for a while just doesn't do. In this video we're going to look at what you can do with it. If you've watched any of my bikepacking films, you'll know that I absolutely love flying a drone. I take it all over the world when I go bikepacking, and I love to capture the amazing scenery, the stunning landscapes of where it is that I'm riding. And I've always said it's a great way of differentiating between the cinematic shots where I use the cinema camera, the action shots using the action camera, and having that drone allows you to have that wide-angle shot of the amazing landscapes and show you just how small you are. And the other day I had a comment from this chap saying that he thought of me as the drone man in bikepacking, which did put a smile on my face, I must say. There are, however, a few problems with flying a drone. The first, when you're cycling especially, is that they are quite bulky. Getting it in and out of your bikepacking setup can be a pain in the arse. It also takes a lot of practice to learn how to frame those shots so that they look really good on the big screen. And furthermore, it's really hard to capture footage of yourself while you're flying a drone because technically it's not allowed. You're supposed to be looking at the drone at all times while you're flying it. It's possible to do, but it does take a lot of practice and a lot of repetition. Doing shots often 2 or 3 times to get the perfect shot, which can be quite debilitating when you're out in the middle of nowhere and you still need to do 50 more miles of cycling. But what I have in my hand here solves all of those problems. So this is the Antigravity A1 360 degree drone. It's been made in partnership with Insta360 and it's very different to anything I've flown before. It's similar to an FPV drone in that you have to wear a headset to be able to fly it. And that's where you'll find all the settings. Before I dive into that, a lot of people ask me about my glasses. I have pretty bad eyesight, so when I wear these headsets it can be a bit of a pain. But with these it's very simple. You just adjust these sliders to bring the lens closer or further away from your eye. And once you've dialed it in, it really is a piece of cake. When you've got them on, it looks a bit like this. You have a head-up display showing what you can see and all of your controls and your stats on the screen. And this is where you can adjust your settings on the fly. To actually fly the drone, all you need to do is power on the drone itself, ensure the landing gear's down before powering up the headset and the remote. From there, you can take off and start to fly and get some footage. I've not touched on the remote yet, but that's also similar to an FPV. It's a motion controller with all of the controls on one unit, so you can fly it with one hand. It also has a pointer, so you can adjust the settings on the headset by using it a bit like a mouse. And you can navigate all of the menu and settings here. You can even head into the gallery and look at footage that you've already taken, bring it up on the display and watch it in 360 degrees, meaning you can actually turn your head and inspect the footage all in one go, a bit like a VR headset. This is cool, but I wouldn't recommend doing this if you ever get travel sick. There are 2 main flying modes. The free motion mode, which is designed to be as easy as possible for people with limited flying experience. You basically do big motions while holding down the trigger to make it move. Putting your arm out far right turns the drone right, and equally far left turns it left. And the same is also true with up and down. As long as you're holding the trigger, the drone will move in the direction of your arm, which is great, but if you want a little bit more control or you're a more experienced flyer, you want FPV mode. This, for people like me who has always played video games, is a piece of cake. You just tilt your wrist and almost use it like a joystick. And again, as long as you're holding down the trigger, you can fly in that direction. You even have the added bonus of being able to turn your head slightly and that adjusts the camera angle, but not so much that it becomes disorientating. It takes a bit of practice to get used to either of these modes, but once you do, it's well worth it. I'm a reasonably experienced flyer, so I tested it out in my local woodland, and it didn't take me long at all before I could capture some really cool and creative shots. Because this shoots in 360 degrees, it opens up a lot of cool features. It's constantly recording in all directions, from front to rear, left side, right side, and down below as well as up above. So one major benefit of this drone over a traditional drone is that you can adjust the subject later in post because it's always in the shot. You can use the anti-gravity software to do deep track in post so you don't have to do it when you're flying, and it really makes your footage look pro. I tested this with my dad on his bike. I flew the drone pretty much straight and the footage looked okay, but when I turned deep track on in post on the anti-gravity software, it looked really cool. To be able to fly an FPV drone like this, it takes a lot of time and skill. We spent a lot of time messing about trying to get some cool shots, but it really wasn't that difficult for me because I didn't have to worry about keeping him in the shot at all times. I just made up for my mistakes in post and it looked really cool. You don't have to focus on people either. This works really well with objects. As you can see, I was flying past this flag in Scotland, and just by adjusting the camera angle on the software, I was able to make it look like I flew the drone and did a spin in midair, but all I was doing was flying it straight. I mentioned it's hard to film yourself cycling with a drone. It takes a lot of faffing to get the shot angle right, ensure you're riding the correct speed, and controlling the drone at the same time is nearly impossible. But I found a hack that makes it super simple with the A1. I stopped the bike, turned on the drone and the goggles without even getting off it, and took it off just somewhere where I could see it. And once I did that, I just took off the goggles, I got back on the bike and just started riding down the road. With both hands on the bars, I was able to pull the trigger of the remote, and with the drone still in view, I just flew it straight. And again, all of the magic was done in post. Here's an unedited example. The drone's flying forward right in front of me. This is the rear view shot. And as you can see, it looks okay until suddenly I'm no longer in the shot. But when I turn deep track on, it looks like I have a professional film crew flying past me as I ride. So that's the Antigravity A1 360-degree drone. It really is a cool piece of kit and a genuine first of its kind in the consumer drone market. I love how small and compact it is and how easy it is to use. You basically can just fly it straight and worry about the shot angles later, which is ideal if you're a beginner or you just want to up-level the quality of your footage. So if you like the look of that drone, there is actually a discount running for about another week now on the Antigravity website. I'll leave a link for that in the description. Any questions, let me know. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.